So there's a small YouTube channel named MrBeast, and that channel's been getting dragged through the dirt so badly that A-Train from The Boys doesn't even have shit on him. I already made a video talking about Sunny's video, but I just want to make one final collective hoorah with all my opinions and one final video on the situation about every YouTuber who's like directly involved in some way with this. I'm gonna try to make sure I don't make any videos dedicated to the situation anymore, but I might mention it every now and then for jokes or examples here and there. So just have fun listening to my rant and play this in the background while you're playing Minecraft or something, I don't know. But if something like wild comes out, like MrBeast sexually assaulted a minor or something like that, I might actually have to make a video on that, but I probably won't, but who knows. Anyways, this video will go over the MrBeast controversy, not like the bare bones of it. I'm pretty sure everyone already knows about it. MrBeast has over 300 million subs. You probably heard of it before, but I just want to deliver my opinions of other YouTubers that have been roped into this somehow. I'll section this by YouTuber, and I'll try to add chapters at the end. If I don't, I probably forgot, and I'm sorry for that. But you might like some of the takes, but there are some other takes that you may not like. I don't really care, I'm just a random guy on the internet. Now let's begin and enjoy. I'll try to make this segment short since I already made a video on him, but I think that everyone's having some brain dead takes on Sunny's video being right. Like, they have actually just straight up been lobotomized. I think that Sunny is at least 97% wrong in the parts of the video, and the only 3% he got right was Ava bringing in a new personality, but the new personality is complete dog shit. She literally brought in the persona of a kid diddler. I don't think people understand. While Sunny talked about how Ava going trans would sink the channel, what is actually happening, what the real issue at hand, is that Ava is being casted out for being a pedophile. She is literally being casted out for messaging minors and buying art of minors in weird scenes. I hate now that there is a sizable chunk of actual circus shows commenting Sunny was right all along, and yeah, he was right. For all the wrong reasons. His video came from either a malicious or at the very least negative side, and that's all I will say about Sunny. Overall, he really blundered here, but no one's accepting that just because his thumbnail was partially right. So there's this guy named MorePegasus who is just absolutely milking the crap out of the situation. He's made 9 videos in a row. He hasn't talked about anything else. Like, he's just made 9 videos in a row talking about the MrBeast situation. And brother, I respect the grind, but please, brother in Christ, it's getting very repetitive now. You're making too many videos on the situation. Just say your piece and maybe a little bit more, and that's it. You don't have to squeeze the udders of this cow that much. Leave some milk for the rest of us, man. Like, come on, please. Also, what's even gonna happen after the MrBeast situation is done? Because think about it, you were the guy that made 9 videos on MrBeast just talking about the situation, and after the situation is over, then what? This is not sustainable for your channel, man. I heavily advise you, please, dude, stop, just stop talking about it, unless something huge comes out, then you can maybe talk about it, but other than that, I highly advise you, stop doing it, please. Koca is certainly in the wrong here, and for those of you who don't use YouTube Shorts, Koca is a YouTube Shorts creator, and he came out defending MrBeast because he's such a good and charitable guy. But Ali was proven wrong. All the stuff he's done, except the philanthropy, has been proven to be faked, or at least rigged in some capacity. But the philanthropy comes from a very disingenuous place, because he's probably being a philanthropist to play into the MrBeast persona and to give himself more credibility. And in the future, he's also probably building up this credit so that way he can work with other organizations, so that way he can just come out as a really nice guy to the public, but in private he's actually an insufferable douchebag. But back to Ali, he's not admitting he's wrong. And it's okay to be in the wrong, man. And it's even more admirable if you just come out and say you are wrong. What's not okay is to just hide from it and be a Jimmy Donaldson meat writer. Just admit that you were in the wrong. and like everyone's going to forgive you. Everyone's going to be like, oh, he knows that he was in the wrong. Maybe it took some time, but he came to the realization that he was wrong, and it's okay to be wrong, Ali. Like you're fine. You're fine here. Just say that I was in the wrong. I went about it in a really bad way, and I'm pretty sorry about that. And yeah, just releasing a YouTuber apology. And I know that has a very horrible connotation, but that's better than just hiding from it, you know, if that makes sense. I think that's the whole point of like a YouTube apology, which is really weird saying that now in hindsight, thinking about the Colleen Ballinger apology. But I'm getting way too off topic. Let's just move on. I think that Dogpack 404's videos are very insightful into the mind of not MrBeast, but the man behind the channel, Jimmy Donaldson. Just a quick side note, I think that we should go after Jimmy instead of MrBeast, because the character of MrBeast is like a very kind and caring guy who everyone knows, everyone likes, but the problem with it is that everyone is targeting the channel itself and not the man behind the channel. Because if we're going after MrBeast, like the channel and the persona of MrBeast, it's hard to do that because now some people, there's a good majority, not a good majority, but like a good number of people who won't be able to believe the accusations because of the character of MrBeast. However, if we go after the person behind the channel, Jimmy Donaldson, we would be able to target someone who's just like a normal guy, like just a normal person that we know nothing about other than the fact that he plays the persona of MrBeast. But anyways, going back to Dogpack 404, the videos that he delivers really do help give the people a voice and encourage other people to do the same and speak out on the channel and the cesspool of mistreatment that's going on in the channel. However, I don't dislike Dogpack per se, but just rather the type of person he is, if that makes sense. I don't think that he's a good person, but he's not a bad person either. It's just the way he delivered the accusations is just bafflingly like weird. For example, in the first video, he puts in this weird-ass intro in the first wave of allegations.
I wanted to provide some context to this video. I'm a former MrBeast employee, and today I am alleging that the company rigged videos and did illegal lotteries and sold fake signatures. I would consider that fraud, okay? Thank you, enjoy the video. So this is part one into my investigation into MrBeast. I recorded this before the Chris stuff came out. I was also going to come out about the Chris stuff probably in part 2 or 3. Because I see a lot of people saying like, oh, if you knew, why didn't you come forward? Why didn't you go to the authorities? Well, I was going to come forward. And also like, going to the authorities isn't going to work because what are you going to say? Like, you heard rumors that this...
He's just making the allegations in such a goofy way that they almost seem fake. And the cop costume certainly does not help. It just seems like he's downplaying the entire situation, but in a weird and contradictory way. He does give a good job alleviating the negative aura of the video while also showing how bad the allegations are and what a sick fuck Jimmy actually is. And I also really appreciate him cutting out what I think are potentially just outbursts of tears. And I'm assuming that he's also making sure that Jake, the guy he's interviewing, feel okay, and I can really appreciate that. President Beast, the channel's been hit. A wave of allegations has just struck. Oh shit, what happened? Well, you see... Oh no. What? What happened now? The second wave of allegations has just hit. Sorry, not sorry. That joke really just humored me. But anyways, there's not much to say. MrBeast should genuinely be labeled a war criminal for doing the things he did to Jake. Sure, the onus is on Jake for falling for the quote-unquote shortcut to pay off whatever debts he had and building wealth. There's no shortcut, and Jake got tempted by the money. He had the opportunity to leave the job and go somewhere else to work. However, what MrBeast did is objectively worse. He exploited someone's ambitions and dreams and used it for his own personal gain. He should also be in jail. He's an actual war criminal. He breaks the law a lot, or at least his employees do, because at one point he literally admitted Carl didn't have the proper permits or licenses to drive a forklift, let alone drift the goddamn thing. He's an actual criminal, and I'm not even going to bother checking out the other stuff. People have already talked about it already. And also, he literally documents himself throughout all the extreme videos he's made, threatening to deface currency, which is kind of just freaking wild. And even if they were fake, that's proof he fakes his videos. And holy fuck, MrBeast hiring a convicted sex offender is crazy if that's actually true. The reason why I think that MrBeast would keep sex offenders around, no matter alleged or Ava Tyson herself, is because he can leverage this. Based on past accounts, if all of this is true, then I don't doubt my next conspiracy theory at all. What I think happens is that MrBeast knows people wouldn't hire convicted sex offenders, so he uses them to leverage them for cheap labor and other things he might need. It's a very simple theory, because he's a very calculating guy, and based on past behaviors, I think it is safe to say he's only hiring them in order to get cheap labor and maybe other things. The reason why he had to fire Ava was because she left too much evidence behind for it to be ignored, so he decided to cut ties before it was too late, but as we already know, this video is being made, so yeah. Another example, I think, is the guy whose nickname is Delaware. That, by the way, naming a convicted sex offender Delaware because he's not allowed to be in Delaware is just sickening. It is absolutely cruel, and that is just psychopath shit. But I think that they're still keeping Delaware around because he's able to like stay on the low key and not leave any evidence behind. So before I end off the video, I just want to point out that I found another really weird and kind of freaky clip of Ava. It was in the video where MrBeast and his crew were dumpster diving, and I just want to say this foreshadowed so much of like the hints were there. We should have known that Ava was trans to begin with. Like, there's this clip of, at the time, she was Chris, and Chris was dumpster diving, like, and he found a pair of women's underwear. Just check out the video. It was really kind of freaky.
And it's got folded scrubs and underwear.
Oh!
A straightener! That's nice.
Don't
But just...
So, yeah, do what you will with that information. In hindsight, like, I don't know how no one pointed this out, but a man playing around with a woman's underwear like that is kind of weird, especially since it's a kids channel. But in hindsight, now that we know that Ava is trans and she's a female, it wasn't really that weird to begin with. But I'm surprised no one actually pointed this out. That was kind of weird. I'm just throwing that out there. Anyways, I'm gonna end off the video. So yeah, that's all I have to say. Those are all my opinions on all the YouTubers that I've noticed who've made videos on him and like have gone big, or straight up just people directly involved with MrBeast in some capacity. If you made it this far, I hope you enjoyed listening to this video, and I really appreciate you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and bye!